My people, I don't even know where to start from because this one is heavy. In fact, before the main conversation, there was already a pre-conversation, almost like a warm-up session for the venom that's about to follow. You know how snakes sometimes hiss before they strike? Yeah, that's exactly the vibe I'm talking
Do you
about.
know what syndrome that is? I don't know what it is. Narcissist. No, dumb girl syndrome. Yeah, I changed that. Yeah, I changed that. But like, I want to. I think I want to say something.
So picture it like this: Sultana, Koi and Damboski is in the lounge. Tita later joins them. It's late at night, post pool party. Some housemates are already asleep, some are still all working on their wager tax presentation. The scene looked normal at first, but my ears caught onto the tone of the G's, and I just knew this wasn't going to be a friendly chatter. The topic, as usual, Mide, and to a smaller extent, Dede. It's like these girls wake up and go to the bed thinking about them. The first trigger was Damboski expressing his concern over the new closeness between Bright and Mide. He was basically saying that Bright hasn't openly declared his intentions, but it's obvious they're already 10 steps ahead in whatever they are doing. Sultana pounced on it like gossip fuel was oxygen. From there, the slander just poured. She basically reduced Mide's entire personality to what she called dumb girl syndrome. Yes, those were her words. She painted Mide as this intelligent, insecure person who tries to hide it with all the way she carries herself, and then she moved to Dede, calling her someone who's obsessed with perfection and overly shows her insecurities. According to Sultana, both girls are nothing. Imagine. She even gave Dede credit for being smarter than Mide, but still managed to call Mide senseless and foolish. The kicker, she claims she knows Dede, so naturally everybody was expecting some juicy backstory like maybe they went to school together or worked in the same space. Nope. All she had was she met her doing medicals before the show, saw her wearing a wig and sunglasses and thought, who is this one? And apparently, that was enough for her to decide Dede doesn't have a personality. Like what? The math is not just mathing. And here's what makes me shake my head. From day one of this season, neither Sultana Doris nor Sabrina have actually sat down to have a proper conversation with Mide or Dede. The moment they saw them, they formed an entire opinion, and not just an opinion, a hatred. And let's call it what it is. This is resentment rooted in intimidation. You can feel it. Now I'm backtracking. The real seed of this tree apparently came from Sabrina. She was the one who first said Dede has this luxury brand attitude, walks like she's better than everybody, and carries pride. Then let me give another conversation in the kitchen where Doris was in full kitchen mother hen mood over Kola. Apparently, Kola had earlier said he wouldn't talk to Dede again, but when she called him up on stage, he went to her. Dede was fuming, acting like Kola was her son that disobeyed house rules. And right there, she dropped a big one. According to someone, Dede is a sugar baby. Yes, she flat out claimed Dede's so-called boyfriend outside the house is actually a wealthy older man, her sponsor who funds her lifestyle. Doris' theory was that this is why Dede isn't pursuing any in-house relationship because she's loyal to this sponsor who is watching the show and will cut her off if she cheats. She even suggested Dede's plan is to use the show to gain enough clout to chill with Jason J after the season. And guess who co-signed it? Sultana. Agreeing they must have discussed it and even added that the plan was to wait until they were out of the house before doing anything. From there, Sultana also brought into the Jason saga, saying Jason spends all the day with his so-called girlfriend, but at night, he sneaks over to fondle her boobs. She claims she had to stop him from telling him to pick a lane. So now the question is, why is she mixing this tea with Vermon? Is she trying to paint Dede as a girl who's not already kept, but also playing the man? Or is it just projection from someone who thrives on being the center of attention? Okay, here's my take. Let's keep it real. This isn't just gossip anymore. This is calculated character assassination. The words they use aren't light jams. They are heavy, intentionally damaging labels. They don't just call someone dumb, senseless, and foolish repeatedly unless you want people to see them differently. And the fact that this is all happening without them ever truly knowing Mide or Dede personally. Yeah, that's a sign that the issue isn't who Mide and Dede are, but what they represent to these women. Competition. And if I'm being unbiased, this Coven energy is also fueled by lack of their own storyline. Think about it. Apart from gossip, what major positive moments have they created for themselves in this house? The cameras can't always catch everything, so for many viewers, the loudest impression they leave is the bitterness they are pouring out in these sessions. Also, it's funny how they frame everything the dead does as prideful or fake. Yes, they can't explain why the guys, from Jason to Bright to Kola, are still drawn to her. That alone tells you the empty shell narrative doesn't add up. At the end of the day, this isn't just three women talking. This is an undercurrent of rivalry and jealousy, being dressed up as just telling it as it is. And I promise you, if Dede or Mide ever find out what word was being said, Big Brother is going to have a messy day on his hands. So guys, that's the gist for today. If you haven't subscribe and turn on the notification, do so and meet us in the next gist.